This program has been brought to you by Airtel, proud supporter of Africa's rising football stars.
Airtel Rising Stars, one of the greatest tournaments in Africa. Finding the best teams, the best talent, and which players are good enough to train at the Manchester United Soccer Schools camp. If you're out there, we'll find you.
The part in the Sekafa tournament. Now we've got 12 teams in total.
Hi, and welcome to Airtel Football. This week, the Sekafa Senior Challenge Cup 2012 kicks off in style. And we take a look at Somalia's national side, the Ocean Stars, and their incredible journey to the African stage. The Council for East and Central Africa Football Associations was founded unofficially in 1927. But it wasn't until 1973 that Sekafa became an official governing body. The first tournament under Sekafa was contested between Kenya and Uganda, which saw the Kenyan squad win the two legs 3-1 on aggregate. And each year there are three major competitions that fall under the Sekafa banner. The Sekafa Under-17 Championships, contested between Sekafa Associated Nations Under-17 teams, and the Sekafa Senior Challenge Cup, the most anticipated of all three. 2012 marked the 36th edition of the Sekafa Senior Challenge Cup. The host nation and the region's winningest side was Uganda, and, as has become the norm, the event was kicked off in style in Kampala, with a gala held to celebrate the region's football. This year was certainly special, as the president of African football's governing body was present, and he was honored to be a part of the proceedings.
Before the kickoff, I can tell it's going to be a successful competition. Because I've seen the General Assembly. Even the Federation top officials came with their national teams. As the CAF president, I want to congratulate Mr. Tenga, who is the committee's president. I also want to congratulate the football officials in the sub-region. We can do everything to support them in going forward.
While also heaping praise on the work that is being done by Sekafa within the region.
No, it is to participate in the General Assembly and see the tournament. When Mr. Tenga invited me 4 months ago to tell me about the General Assembly in Uganda, and that the tournament was to start the day after the General Assembly, he sent me an invitation and accepted to come see him. There was an overlapping event since there was the Championship League in Tunis 3 days before this one. I had to designate someone to represent CAF at the Champions League as I came here.
The star-studded affair was also graced by the Burundian FA president Lydia Sakera, Sekafa and Tanzanian football president Leo Dega Tenga, and president of Kenyan football's governing body Sam Nyamweya.
Well, I think it's very positive. It's positive in the sense that the youth are coming up very well. We are nurturing the youth, we are giving them support, and I'm sure within a very short time the result will be very positive.
I think it's a competitive region. I think throughout the region we have challenges with the different teams. Keeping football afloat and alive in the region is important for sponsors. So we're part of the competitiveness in creating the sponsorship and the funding that keeps the teams going, and we have a role to play in the development of that. So we're excited by the competition. We've got a number of teams here, 26 matches, 2 weeks. It's like a buffet of soccer. And for Tusker, you know, if we can bring that together on the continent, in the region, and be part of the development of the game, and have one of the East African teams get to 2014, why not? It's a great place to be, and it's a natural fit between Tusker, the brand, and the soccer in the region. So I see the competition as healthy. Different teams at different stages. We have South Sudan joining us, their first outing in a major tournament. It's exciting. So the growth is everywhere for me, everywhere.
CECAFA is like the heart of football in this region, not just for Kenya. CECAFA has been around forever, and Kenya has been part of CECAFA right from inception. And we support CECAFA fully. That's why we are here. I'm here. The Commissioner for Sports is here. The President of Kenyan football is here. So you see Kenya fully represented here because we value CECAFA, and we see it as an important arena for the development of soccer in the region and for Kenya too.
The night also officially ushered in a brand new partnership between CECAFA and the United Against Malaria organization.
You know, United Against Malaria has been with CECAFA since the 2011 Senior Challenge Cup. When Leo Degertenga came on board as one of our malaria champions, he saw what a massive problem it was for all of the East and Central African countries. For the CECAFA countries alone, there's about 209,000 deaths a year. He was also seeing how it was affecting the football players. They weren't able to train as well. Some had to sit out matches, as we heard from Rogers earlier this evening. You know, South Sudan just recently lost a player 10 days ago to malaria. So when Tenga saw the big impact malaria was having in CECAFA, he devoted then and there to say malaria will be an issue for our tournaments until it's eradicated.
The UAM campaign, which was launched during the World Cup in 2010, continues to use football as a channel to overcome the killer disease across the African continent. The theme during this year's CECAFA Senior Challenge Cup, Kick Malaria Out of the Region. Another way to use football's impact to get a message across.
It's immeasurable, the satisfaction we get from being able to leverage the opportunities in this campaign, of this tournament with this campaign. You know, the viewership for CECAFA matches at the Senior Challenge Cup is huge. So we know we're able to reach an audience of millions of people with these life-saving malaria messages, and also give credit where credit is due for the good work that's being done in malaria already. So we're eternally grateful to CECAFA for the opportunity to join them as they promote football and we can promote our malaria messages.
The tournament kicked off on Saturday, November 24th. And what a first week it was. Let's look at all the results from week one of action at the CECAFA Senior Challenge Cup 2012 in Kampala. When we return to Airtel Football, we take an in-depth look at Somalia's resurgence as a footballing nation. Stay where you are.
Airtel Rising Stars, one of the greatest tournaments in Africa. Finding the best teams, the best talent, and which players are good enough to train at the Manchester United Soccer Schools Camp. If you're out there, we'll find you.
Welcome back to Airtel Football. This is Mogadishu, one of the world's most dangerous cities, ravaged by war for more than 20 years. What was once a tourist haven for Europeans has now become a no-go zone. Scarred by war, cursed by famine, and blighted with piracy, and with no effective government for more than 2 decades, Somalia have the kind of problems that would seem almost beyond solution. But this is a country and a city that is unified with its love for sport. And like in most African countries, football is the most popular. 2012 ushered in Somalia's first successful league competition, with 8 teams competing for honors.
You know, back home, you have a problem that the other teams they don't have. Conflict, lack of security. That is why we are not going up we cannot come a good stage. That is the problem. The causes of there's no security. We train under that condition.
Rebuilding a nation may take more time and effort, but it has to begin somewhere. For those who live here, and for those who have lived through it, to witness their national side's recent relative success has been somewhat of a miracle.
Our country has a new government, and the new government, really, we are very lucky because our president now is well-educated and knows the meanings of the football and sports. And we are now planning, as a football committee, as EXCO, we are planning to communicate through the minister and to bring in front of him and our plan and the needs of the football.
At this year's Sekafa Senior Challenge Cup in Kampala, Somalia were one of the 12 nations represented. And in a bid to compete favorably, the country's fledgling football federation appointed former Sofapaka coach and SC Victoria University's current first team coach, Sam Simbwa, to take charge.
I've prepared the team well. I've been here with 2 weeks, but I prepared the team well and we are ready. This time we are not participating, but we'll have come to compete.
Simbwa's record in knockout competitions is certainly impressive, and his presence is enough to boost the confidence of one of Africa's footballing minnows.
They are saying we are whipping boys, but it will be shown on the ground. But our target is to qualify for quarterfinals first.
First, we must have a good team in Sekafa. If we win Sekafa, then we can go to African Cup of Nations, African Cup qualification. But first, we have to know our strength, whether we can participate there. We have to see here, Sekafa. If we win Sekafa, then we can go easy.
It is ready to apply to CAF, saying that this Somalia this time ready to apply to participate for the Cup of Nations, but it needs a lot of requirements. So we have to do that before we go there. But our plan is to go that way, to participate all the competitions, like an African Cup of Nations, like Chan already have participated, Chan. Under 17 is always, under 20 like that. But our goal is to reach the level of CAN. That's our goal.
For the coach and his players, it was the perfect opportunity to show the rest of Africa that they belong, that football can unify not just a country, but a continent. And for their players who are plying their trade abroad, there's a genuine sense of pride to finally pull on their national strip.
It feels so good because representing your country, being part of the national teams is something that we dream on it. Like as a kid, yeah. So this is my first time. I'm so happy to be here.
Now, the attraction of playing football in Somali colors is enough to lure some of them back. A chance to prove that they belong in tournaments like this one. Players like Hertford Town's defender Abdallah Jamak, or 24-year-old Minnesota Tigers midfielder Faisal Muhammad.
They was trying to make the whole country, like the whole Somali people that plays football, to come together and play together for their national team. Most of them, 21 players, play for the Somali League, but 5 of us, we came from out of the country, so they just wanted, you know, like a different things for this year. So they wanted to try our best and make it different for Somalia this year.
But normally Somali people are living in different countries like Europe and USA, Canada, everywhere in the world. And some of them, they're born there. from 1989 till now. Then they grow up now. Some of them are 22, 23, 24 years. But the problem is, how can we collect them? That is the problem. Because they don't know Somali for them, because they're born there. And even for us, we don't know them. But we are planning now to communicate when we prepare our stadium and the stability, everything will be there. Then we try to communicate them, because some of them are playing some clubs for the professional ones. And they're playing also the Premier League, like that. Even UK, some of them are playing UK, some of them in Germany, some of them, I can say, in Sweden, like that.
The players now we are leading are very young. Also some came to the outside, to America, North America and Europe. All we combine them to make them together for the coming years to have a good team.
Confidence might have been high in the Somali camp, but the harsh reality is African football has come a long way in 20 years. And in their first game in Group B, the Horn of Africa side ran into a roadblock in the form of Burundi at the Nambule Stadium.
Yeah, Burundi is a little bit better than us, FIFA rankings and everything, even the records, past records in Sekafa. We respect them, but we don't fear them. We have come to play and we want to win.
It took Burundi 31 minutes to find the back of the net for the first time, following a goalkeeping blunder that resulted in a free kick. Then it was this Yusuf Dikumana goal 4 minutes from the break from a direct free kick, which was curled into the top left corner. Somalia pulled themselves back into the game as Jabril Hassan scored from the spot 5 minutes into the second half. Dikumana scored his brace in Burundi's third 7 minutes from time. Somalia, obviously dejected, could do nothing to stop the final 2 goals. Regardless of their performance in the 2012 edition of the Sekafa Senior Challenge Cup, it was about the pride and the heart that the Horn of Africa side displayed that will remain in the minds of football fans from across Africa for years to come. From one country's difficult past, rectified by unity through sport, to one of Kenya's toughest neighborhoods where technology and education have discovered a common ground. As Airtel and Nokia have teamed up to bring education into the 21st century here in Kibera, Kenya's largest informal settlement, at the Raila Odinga Center. A non-profit organization founded in June 2009 by Kenya's Prime Minister, the Honorable Raila Odinga. Its vision? To enact the facilitation of sustainable regional development, the perfect partner for Airtel Kenya, and a partnership with a vision to traverse the continent. And as sport, education and technology come together to usher in a brand new era across Africa, Airtel Football will be there for the entire journey. That's all the time we have for this edition of Airtel Football. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
This program has been brought to you by Airtel, proud supporter of Africa's rising football stars.